Okay, we'll call meeting to order at, sorry, my time went away, 5:39. The adoption of the agenda, I know that there is an addition.
We do, I did not have your delegation on, we have a delegation here tonight, so we do have a delegation. Madam Chair, if you want to put that at say 4.0.
Okay. Delegation, good to go.
So this delegation is a part of your rural community connections grant.
Go ahead.
I'll just motion to adopt the agenda as amended.
Okay, all in favor? Carried. Adoption of the minutes from June 8th. Everybody had a chance to look over them?
I have a question about them. The list of attendees includes Councillor Prestich, Reeve Dave Cush.
Yeah, that's an iCompass issue that Corinne has helped me with, and she's going in the back end as well. I can't delete Councillor Prestich because he's no longer our alternate. Councillor Cush is our alternate. So
Okay.
I can't delete him, so she, as the administrator, has to do that. But for whatever reason, it glitched and put all of you in there, even though I had them deleted as absent, so.
Well, should we note that?
Yes.
Because I don't think I was there either. I'm pretty sure we were at the lake that. So,
Yeah, you were setting up your cottage.
pardon?
You were setting
Yes.
up your
Yeah.
lake
Where are you,
water.
Kevin? Mine just died.
So so Tina was here, Bruce was not. Was John here?
I think John did show up.
John was
I
here.
think John was here.
Okay, I was not. Jeremy was here. Dave was not. Arlene, you were there?
Yeah, Tracy.
Dave was there, Tracy, and Rebecca was.
Yeah.
So should we see just as amended?
As amended, yeah, and then I can make those changes and update them onto iCompass.
Okay,
Okay.
I'll move to accept the minutes as amended.
Okay, all in favor? Carried.
And I believe I was here over Zoom too. Right?
Yeah.
So Zoom. Okay. Oh, that must be him. Get the door open.
Just as we're going to the good stuff.
Okay, we'll just,
There
Pause
he
for a
is,
second.
come on in, we did start the meeting.
Okay.
we just made it to the business section, so perfect timing.
Hey, Dave.
All right, so we will go to 4.0, our delegation.
Jesse?
Jesse?
Okay, so we have Jessie with us. She has applied for a Rural Community Connections Grant. It is page, you can look at her application on page 18.
Okay.
All right. So Jesse, this is our conservatives, Community Services Committee, and so they're gonna look at your application and approve it. So if you'd like to go over why you're applying and why you wanna do this.
Sounds good. Okay. Me and my husband are new to the area. We moved here last year, September. So we're just kind of getting to know our area, which is just down East Mountain, on 583. Our plan is to do a block party on September 23rd. As of right now, I am currently looking for face painting, but nothing's really in the price range for that, unfortunately. So I'm gonna keep on looking. But we have games like set up. We have axe throwing, which is just the Costco version of axe throwing. Cornhole, spike ball. I was planning on doing it like an open mic. I talked to a young 13-year-old. Her mom actually reached out to me and said that she would like to kind of get put into the area more, I guess, known. So we are planning on bringing her out. Alexander Safety said they would donate a barbecue. So food obviously is gonna be hot dogs and hamburgers. Someone did bring to my attention that there is allergies, so we might just do hot dogs, hamburgers, chips, keep it simple for that sake. And then there's a lot of people that have actually came to me and said they would help that are from the area. If we do have bad weather, we do have a lot of like tent throw ups if need be. We do plan on just doing it on our yard. We have 6 acres out there. But for the budget, we just kind of want to throw it towards food and then just invites for people and getting it out there for when we do it.
Go ahead.
So, first of all, welcome. And I just want to say that we're friendly folk here, so no stress.
Perfect. Good.
Go ahead.
I just have a quick question. There's one's name's Jesse Berwick and one's Klassen. I'm assuming it's the same person.
Yeah,
Is it Klassen or
it's
Berwick?
hyphenated.
Oh, okay.
So it's both.
And do you mind if I ask which lot you're at, or maybe?
It's
Because I live just down the road.
115075. So right when you come around Thompson on that corner.
Yeah.
It's the second house in.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
Yeah. You betcha.
Might be a neighbor.
Might be at the block party.
I'm on 583, so I should get invited.
You're not in trouble.
Well, and I'm kind of like thinking, how do I get invitations out? Like, how do you walk onto someone's yard in the middle? You know what I mean? Like protection. I don't know.
I
Facebook.
can help you with that.
Perfect.
Are you part of that West Mountain, East Mountain
Yeah, I've posted
Facebook
actually
group?
quite a
That would be
few
it.
times.
Yeah.
But I haven't got a lot of interest because I know there's a lot of people like in that area. So I'm thinking like me and my daughter will go door to door and just hang up the invites. But yeah.
Sure.
If you want my suggestion from door knocking in the area,
Yeah.
almost everybody will be fine if you're going on their property, except for if they have a do not enter sign.
Okay.
Those are the ones that
Don't risk it.
don't enter.
Perfect. Awesome.
I just want to throw in the fact that I love this program because it's, just with the getting to know your neighbors and how important it is to, especially in rural communities. I think that this is good for you for making the application and being part of the community.
Yeah, I had someone comment actually on my post and they said they're like, this older couple had done it for a while and they've lived there for years, but they just got older, they couldn't do it anymore. And I'm like, I'm the type of person, I do want to know my neighbors because I want to know if something's going on in my yard when I'm not there or any of that. Me and my husband, we are very friendly people. We have come across a few not so friendly people, but there's always going to be those people, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Is there any other questions for Jesse? No? Okay, well, thank you very much.
Thank you guys so much.
Be in touch with you. You're welcome. Thanks, Jesse. Have a good night, guys.
Okay, we're gonna move to 4.1, which is the community service project update from June 8th to August 10th.
Alrighty, so let me get organized here. What did I do?
We're friendly folk, no worries.
You're friendly folk, yeah, no stress. It's funny, public speaking makes people
Very nervous, yeah.
All right, so usually this has been going at the end, but the way that I've been told that things need to work is business arising is things that have been in front of you before or are repetitive, and then new business is something you've never seen before. So we're trying the new system. I'm being educated, this is a good thing. So my community services update, 4. You can see on the RFD, the needs assessment's complete. It's been presented to council and I sent it to all of you and I've sent it out to other community organizations that want to use it or have any questions or they're going to implement it themselves, they just want to see it. But now Joan and I are looking at it as how we're going to implement this into budget time. So there's a few things, we've talked to board, we've got a kind of a plan as we go forward. So one of the quick wins is I just want to tell you about the West End bus. This is going to council next week, but the West End Bus Committee has applied for a huge grant and they got it. Like an $800,000 grant to expand the program to buy another EV van and to do bus stops to enhance the service that they'll do weekly stops from Sangudo to Whitecourt picking up in Blue Ridge. So they'll stop in Sangudo Library, Mayerthorpe Library, and they're hoping to plant at our library. So they're looking at building bus stops and doing EV charging stations. That was part of their grant, and this new bus. So weekly coming. So this totally hit in our needs assessment where they talked about transportation, about a weekly thing. So from Blue Ridge, we haven't gone up the other way yet, but for right now, it's a win to get to Blue Ridge. So if people can get to Blue Ridge, the library, there at least is gonna be a bus stop where they can wait in the library and then come into town. So that was a little quick win that we had. It's going to council for financial commitment. You guys will see that in your package that you'll get soon, but they're looking for, it's a quick win if it happens, which I don't think it shouldn't, but there's just a big financial commitment. I think they're looking for $30,000 from the from the county. Yeah. So that's part of our West End bus agreement. I don't know if you guys remember this, but we do have a West End bus agreement. We put in 25,000, Lac St. Anne puts in 25,000, and Mayerthorpe puts in 25,000, and the West End bus does cultural and medical trips through most of the community. There is an East End bus, but we participate in the West End bus. So they do cover Fort Assiniboine, Goose Lake, Blue Ridge, and they have been doing kind of some stops contemplating going through Anselmo, but normally the Anselmo people either have to go to Mayerthorpe or Blue Ridge to get picked up, but. So this is a good enhancement project. And the Blue Ridge Family Fun Day, so we kind of briefly talked about it. The poster printed weird, sorry, it's half, I don't know, I really hate iCompass, I don't know if I've ever told you guys that. We got our poster, it's on Facebook. If you could please, I am no longer on Facebook. I have declared a social media. So I can't share it to all the groups. So if you are on Facebook, if you go to our Facebook page, Woodlands County, and share that to your area, to your groups like the West End, East End, Council, if you guys could share that, the poster, we've got it, we're gonna be cusping on the Express because they come out just before our event, but we're hoping we can do that. We're in all the papers, although the Mayerthorpe Freelancer has now decided they're no longer having a paper come the end of the month. So there's no White Court Star, no Mayerthorpe Freelancer. There's the White Court Press, but it's looking pretty thin. So we're gonna be in all those papers for the Family Fun Day. We're gonna be putting up posters next week, and all of our signage will go up as well. So we're hoping we get some good feedback. So you can see by that list, it's gonna be a great day. We've got the canoes coming back. The Indigenous storytelling, we're partnering with the White Court Indigenous Friends. Oh, sorry.
No problem. I just, while we were on the poster, just in case nobody catches it, under activities, you've misspelled obstacles, just so you know, in case nobody picked that up.
On the poster?
Yeah.
Awesome. Sorry, I didn't make the poster, so I get to go tease. No, it wasn't Nikita either.
Just letting you know in case I forget to tell you later.
Okay, I'm writing that down. Thank you. The Indigenous storytelling is the part of the White Court Indigenous Friends Society. Sasha Martin is going to be doing storytelling, and she's got some props that she's going to talk about the history, like the history of moccasins and such. And they've actually, I just met with them. That's another part of my update. But they're going to try and find a teepee because they got a connection for a teepee. So we would have tales from the teepees. We have a big teepee set up at Blue Ridge. I'm so excited if that happens. But just that partnership is just growing so well. It's awesome. I'm gonna have bouncy castles from TNT. We're gonna have 3 of those. They're bringing generators because I said there's no power out there, but we just wanted to kick it up a notch. We got street performers. They're coming from the city. There's 3 of them. They're gonna be walking around doing leg juggling, acrobatics, and if they run into each other, they're gonna do these little flips, and they said they'd interact with the public and the kids and such. So we've never had them before, so I'm excited for them. Airbrush tattoos. This is a lady that was up at the bicentennial at the fort. She's faster than any face paint. She just does this little airbrush thing, and you got tattoo kind of thing, so that'll be interesting. Our mascot this year is going to be Pikachu. I talked to the mascot guy, and he said he's been very busy with requests for Pikachu. He's pretty popular. The horse-drawn wagon or carriage rides, we're going to go with Don Myers again. Do you guys remember last year? It was just a little bit smaller than Cactus Patch. It's not that there's anything wrong with Cactus Patch. These are just a little smaller, a little more intimate. And he could actually get in and out around the little walk around, so, and he's donating his honorarium to the Christmas hamper. He doesn't wanna get paid. So it's a win-win,
Nice.
right? And all of our environmental learning stations we've had before through the Alberta government, which is why we had to move our date. But we also have the Athabasca watershed coming. They came one year, 2019, or 18 or 19. And they've got a whole bunch of new community engagement games and learning how water moves through a wetlands and through marshes. And they've got this little spray game she told me about what kids spray. And they can see it actually reacts to the water where it goes in the, I was like, what? I'm gonna have to come play this game. It looks really, really good. And then obviously hot dogs and refreshments. So I need some volunteers because as I was telling you guys earlier, I don't have summer students this year. So we're looking at staff that well, not really staff, people that I need help with majorly is at the food station, obviously. I'm gonna try and find one of the other staff to do remain parking at the gate. We're not gonna have our wacky waving inflatable or inflating tube man way at the front because the generator got stolen and they will never let me live it down. Right, Nikita? Not gonna let me live that down. So we're gonna have him in the main parking lot. So I don't need somebody way out there, we just need somebody at the front so that we're getting them into the MX parking lot. I've talked to them there and they're gonna let us use that parking lot again. I need somebody to walk around with a mascot with Pikachu taking pictures of the kid, because he can't see really well in that costume, so I need somebody to
That could
not
be
let him
fun.
walk in the water.
There's water there, right?
Yeah, and there's obstacles that he tripped over the first year. So I just like somebody to walk with him and takes pictures with the kids and such. I need somebody to walk around roving garbage. At the food booth, I think I need about 2 people now. Mark is gonna come. We've got our big grill, but I need a couple people, because you can't touch, if you touch a wiener, you can't touch a bun. Just saying. So I need somebody that
Yeah, I mean, we just do all the wieners, like put them in the tray, take
Yeah.
off the gloves.
can do that. So 2 people would be good though, because then you got somebody, I wanted to ask you guys if you think we should have cookies or watermelon. We did watermelon a few years ago. It's messy, but it was appreciated. But cookies were way less messy.
And they're popular.
And they're very popular, but they're not as healthy as watermelon. So I just wanted to get your take on what you think to accompany the hot dog.
We got the hot dogs for the healthy portion.
With the which?
healthy
No, okay, that's the healthy side, yeah. They are harvest
We have water for the healthy section.
Yeah.
Watermelon's a little bit weather dependent.
I was gonna say if it's not nice out, then.
But it's a lot more work, right?
It is, and it takes way more coolers.
Yeah.
Holy, we had like 4 coolers of
Yeah,
watermelon.
I think cookies. Keep it
Cookies,
simple.
okay.
That's my opinion.
Do we have to bake the cookies or they come?
I know, I get them from IGA. Like
'Cause then that's
I
not-
just call in my order. IGA is fabulous. They're so good.
They were popular.
They were popular. weren't they?
Yeah, they
Love
were.
the cookies.
And then I think that's it, food booth, so a couple people, I think I've got setup covered, so I probably just need mainly people at the food booth and I recognize it's you, food booth, okay.
I'll do it too.
You're in the good, you
I love
Dave,
doing
okay?
food.
It's
booth, yeah.
fun.
I do it
Any-
at school.
Are you guys committed for the whole time?
I'm committed.
Okay,
I was there last year, so I'll
you
do it.
cook some, you pop in, or are you gonna commit to like a time frame? Cause somebody might need to go to the bathroom or.
We usually
Did
have
we have
some.
a time frame last year? I thought it was
No,
just.
we
So
did the
you
whole
guys
thing.
kinda,
10
you
to
guys
4.
came and went.
I think I stayed the whole day.
You were
Were you
there,
there
I
the
think
whole
you
day?
come a little bit late, but you were there the rest of the
Okay,
day.
so
John
Tracy,
kinda come and went.
Tracy, Dave, Jeremy, you're in the kitchen. Got it.
And I'm sure Councillor Prestige will be coming. I don't
He
want
usually
to commit
shows
him,
up for
but
the
I feel
kitchen.
like he'll be there.
Wiener peeler.
He likes the kitchen.
Yeah, so I think kitchen's covered then, and I think I can get staff that can cover the rest. Is the main thing, and that's where the main schmoozy is gonna be, like interacting with the public and talk about, our event. Yeah, so if you decide that you're coming, let me know, and I will find work for you, or if you just wanna come out and walk around, that's okay too. There's no pressure. And I think I have enough to pay honorarium this year. So, members at large, you guys get paid. I don't know where you're gonna get paid, Jeremy, but you can talk to.
It's all part of my public service.
Yes.
Oh, there you go, that's great, okay. So that's the biggest one for Blue Ridge Family Fun Day, that was the biggest event, that's been really keeping me busy. I was on holidays for 2 weeks, so coming back, just hitting the ground there with that. Our firearm safety course, we had it in Blue Ridge, July 15th, it was very well attended, we had 13, and enough of people that wanted again, so we're looking at October, maybe November, but probably October, that we're gonna run it again in Fort Assiniboine, and then we'll have one either in Ensemble or Blue Ridge, just to spread it around a little bit. I had a conversation with Cheryl Trofomak, she's interested in doing sign language courses again, so I think we're good to go for doing that. If we can get her to do like maybe an advanced one, like do 2, but we'll see what her time commitment is, cause it is a big time commitment to teach that. And I'm looking at some board development training for our community groups. I've been talking with Community Futures, and I just want to deepen that conversation to maybe bring somebody in to do like a whole day kind of thing, or a symposium kind of thing. So I think just enough community groups have been asking. They've been having, a few of our groups here have been having issues with running the board that don't know what they're supposed to do, and people that stay in your lane, and then there's drama, so they'd like to have that. So we're gonna look at that. And another update from my meeting with the library and the community, or the Whitecourt Indigenous Friends, is we wanna do some cultural awareness training and work with the library, so they would cover some of the costs and we would cover some of it, and then that would bring down the cost to participate, because right now the major complaint the library gets is people say, well, it's a lot of money for some of these workshops. So we just think that that'd be nice to do some stained glass, some other art stuff through the Indigenous, and then some of their wage would be covered from the library, and then ours would be in there as well. So those are gonna flesh out this fall, budget dependent, wink wink. And the benefits program, you guys remember that wonderful program that you came up with. It's been really well received. I've got, as of this, it was 10. I've had 4 more applications while I was on holidays. So we've got like 15 applications for the tax rebate. So that's the main one that we've had. And I'd say 99% of those have been seniors. We haven't had a disabled or a low income apply yet. And I've had a couple transportation grants, but those usually flow in later after they've gone to several appointments, so I'm not too concerned about those yet, but well received so far. I don't know if you heard it on the radio. I actually had a friend call me and say, how much did you pay for radio advertising? Because I hear that ad all the time. I'm like, well, that's good to know. Did you hear it?
Go ahead.
Yeah.
10, is that like on track for the normal amount that we have?
Never had it. This is the first year. This is benefits program for the tax rebate for the seniors and the flags.
It's 100.
The new one that was just adopted.
All right, I was thinking with regards to the transportation.
Oh, yeah, no.
And that, the tax rebate was $150, right?
Flat rate, yeah. We actually, this is a kind of a funny story. I don't know who's watching this, but it's a funny story. This lady wanted the tax rebate, but she wasn't in good standing with her taxes. And it's, when we explained it's not a reduction, it's a rebate, you have to pay first. And she was a couple years behind. She didn't know if she could do it. She said, what if I pay 1 year? No, it has to be fully paid. She found money to completely pay her taxes, so she got that $150. I'm like, okay. So
Perfect.
people are liking the program.
It acts as an incentive.
Whatever incentive you have, right? So yeah, it's been good. Like I said, questions we're getting is good. People are happy that we have something like this, and it's been mainly seniors. So we'll see if we keep on our advertising campaign, which we're spreading it out. The reason we had so many ads on the radio is Nikita and I got a great deal. They had, the radio had, what was that thing?
It was just like a 1-day deal.
Yeah, if you get in, you get like, what'd we get basically? A third?
It was $900 for 5 weeks of advertising.
Yeah. It was slick, so we used it for just this program, so it was good. So miscellaneous kind of stuff I've been working on, wildfires, I was part of the emergency team that we had, and then the flood, like, oh, that was interesting. We worked in the reception center and got some food vouchers, that was interesting, staff really stepped up. So So the list of businesses for the Welcome to Woodlands program, that's gonna be coming back to you guys in September. Nikki and I are talking about getting the brochure actually redesigned, but as you guys talked about, you wanted something that we could give out. So talking to businesses, I talked to Kristen Belke, who sits on the Economic Development Committee, and she's a producer, so she's agreed to give a white dirt bag to everybody that moves here. And she's got me in contact with her women entrepreneurs she has, and we're kind of fading it out that way. So I think we'll have a few for the first launch, the first people that move here. We're gonna have a nice little package, and hopefully they can we'll just have little, what I talked to Kristen about, what would work best for her is to have a gift card that says, you know, you go to Belke and Gardens and get your dirt bag, go to Blue Ridge Farms and get your hamburger, so it actually wouldn't be, we wouldn't have to store that because, and also they wouldn't have to keep, like, there's some of the stuff has dates on it or expiry, so that's what we're envisioning. So I'll have a little bit more information on that as I gather more women and men producers.
I think that's a good idea anyways, like it orientates people to those businesses, right, gets them in the door and.
That's what we're hoping, that it kind of spreads them out. There's a lot of producers.
Mm-hmm.
And not just like farm, cottage industry producers, but like producers. They're producing stuff that are exporting all over the place. So I think if we can help our cottage people, but let's get our other businesses going too. Doing some prelim budget planning with Joan, and community group capital grants. I've reminded everybody that they're due September 15th. They'll be coming to your September meeting. And hopefully we get some applications. I've had none so far, but it's pretty early. But usually about this time they're calling and asking me about things, but I haven't. So hopefully we get some community groups doing some capital work. And I just finished processing the transportation grants from the last intake. So that took a lot of time because I was fighting again with programs. That's about it.
Anybody have any questions for Heather at all? In case, I guess somebody a motion as info?
I'll motion that the committee accepts community services project update as information.
All in favor? And that's carried. All right, so we'll move to new business. 5.1, the Rural Community Connections Grant Application, the Topland Rec Society, and this is the one that was done online.
Yes, you all voted on this in July.
So we need to make a motion then.
Yes.
If somebody wants to make that motion.
So I'll move that the committee approve the Topland Recreation Society for a $500 Rural Community Connections grant to a maximum of $500.
Okay, motion on the floor, all in favor? And that's carried. Okay, 5.2, the recreation survey.
Okay, so just gonna pop through here. So what happened when we did our help seekers evaluation, so they asked me to say, okay, give us an evaluation. Would you use this again? What worked, what didn't? And I was honest, and they appreciated that and said that they would do another survey for us for free. So I went to Joan and went, this is awesome. And so I thought, why don't we do a recreation survey? Because we've talked about the rec master plan. We've talked about what we could do next year. We've talked about this. So if we use the same questions, because we really do want to compare apples to apples. We don't want to compare, unless you feel that you want to do a completely new survey. That would be difficult. It would take longer to develop the questions. So I did not include the rec master plan with you because they don't need to know right away. I was gonna ask you if this is what you want to do, and then I can send you the rec master plan again, because it was sent a few meetings ago.
And does the master plan include the survey? A copy
Well,
of
the survey was like an appendix of it,
Sure.
but I can send you both, just so you can see what we asked, and then we can make a decision in September. And they don't need much time, especially if we're gonna do the same survey. I'm just gonna send them the survey, and then they're gonna build it. It will only be online. Just because that's what they're willing to do for free, is the online survey, right? But I think it would give us a really good, if we can, and then they said they'd do the analysis too. So they'd give us this to say, this is what the survey was in 16, this is what the survey is now. And I said, I talked to the board.
So there was a survey, Tracy, if you remember, probably I'm gonna guess 2010. So prior to this 2017. And the results came back resounding for a need for camping.
That was the number one on the survey, was camping.
So that was prior to 2017. Because I wasn't on council in 2017, and I remember Kara commissioning that survey.
I
And
remember, but I didn't think it was way back then.
yeah.
You're gonna scare
Where I'm
me.
going with this is I'm just curious if the survey questions, let's call it 2010, are the same as the ones in 2017, if we could find a copy of the old one and just compare?
The survey that was used to design the rec master plan was physically done in 2016. And that is the survey that I suggest that we,
Yeah, no, I get that. but
oh,
what
you
I'm
want the
saying is-
prior ones?
Yeah, I'm just wondering if there's a copy of that
Yeah,
somewhere.
I could find it.
If you could, I'd just like to see
Yeah.
it and compare the questions from that one to the one in 16/17.
Okay, so
I think
prior,
That's why we were looking at Blue Ridge to do the rustic camping too, that helped promote that.
Yeah, for sure. And we had an inventory of potential camping sites. There was a place down on the 917 road, A&C road. That was an abandoned work camp that could be turned over to us. And there were a few other places that were future sites. But nevertheless, I can't remember those questions. And like to
I can see if I can find them. Kara was like meticulous, so
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I can find something in her files. Or harass her at home.
So if there's no other questions, I'd make a motion to direct admin to work with the help seekers, but I don't want to get ahead of myself. Are there any other questions?
I just had one comment, would they just kind of put new eyes on the questions, given changes that may have occurred in the community since 2017?
The only problem with that, and I did talk to her briefly, is that we want to compare apples to apples.
Yeah, I'm just thinking
Yeah.
of language and,
No, we will
you know,
definitely like that, we would for sure, we don't have any new rec sites, but what they're thinking, because they suggested in that when they did it, that that'd be happening in 5 years and then it wasn't done.
oh yeah.
So we're kind of looking at backpedaling a little bit, for lack
Right,
of a better
right.
word.
Yeah, I was
So-
just thinking sort of language and anything that might have changed significantly
check on
with
that.
like, we've had the whole COVID thing since then, and like there's been some pretty significant, but yeah, I certainly understand that you wanna have it consistent as possible.
We could add, like, maybe there'd be some supplement questions, I don't think, go ahead.
Anything else to add, maybe?
I just wanna ask again, like, to do this survey, it's kinda only good if we're gonna move forward, right? So how is council gonna support us moving forward?
On the rec master plan? Well, it's definitely on council's radar, because
You've made it on council's radar.
yeah, well, and so there was a little bit of a disconnect, so it won't be coming out of the blue come budget time.
Okay, good.
So if there are recommendations, as you know, doesn't mean council's gonna, the other
Mhm.
5 people, but they're aware
Okay.
that my comments to council is that I feel like recreation, kind of by necessity because of the financial hardships, was sort of put on the back burner. And I think I would say that there was buy-in to that idea to see what we can do.
Yep, and I think people understand that, I just don't know if we're getting too fast and if the hardship's still there.
Right.
So, perfect, thank you.
And I guess the only other question I would have is if it falls under our realm.
Mandate.
It's not as clear as I'd like it to be, I'll be honest. Right now, it does, but there's no one to do it. So if it's still here, then there is talk of they're gonna need other resources like new staff. Could there this is, I'm not throwing this out there that this has been mentioned, but maybe there's another chance to have a rec coordinator. Or I don't know where the managers are at. And then if there's gonna be new staff, that's a whole other question, because if we're still in budget, I've only been directed for 1%, so that's more than 1%, but that's also different. There's extenuating circumstances and there's reasons, right, so that they can do that. So I can just tell you right now, the way it sits, I don't know if we could build anything, but that doesn't mean that we can't if there's other resources added.
Well, I think that with
So-
the survey,
Yes,
some data.
that'll
that
give us the beef.
It could actually give us a little bit of push,
That's what I
so.
think anyway.
Raises the profile.
I don't know where the people above and this way. There's one right there that isn't, I'll just be quiet, because this is recorded, right, Nikita? Yeah, we can edit this out, maybe?
Okay.
Too late.
Okay, so I'll move that the Community Services Committee direct administration to work with help seekers to develop, implement, deliver, and analyze a recreation survey based on the previous one done in 2017.
Motion on the floor, all in favor? Carried.
And I will send you all of those documents. If I can find the survey prior to, I will send you the master plan and the surveys done in 2016.
Okay.
So be prepared to
You
get
did
that.
send
in
the
email.
master plan once.
At one point.
Oh, you don't need the master plan again?
Lump it into the email.
Yeah, I can do that. Okay.
All right, so we'll move to 5.3. We had the lovely Jessie with the Rural Community Connection Grant application. Any discussion on that?
I just want to comment publicly that I think it's ambitious, and I think it sets a great precedent for somebody that's just moved into her community that wants to use it as an opportunity to get to know people and have others have that same opportunity. And so I really applaud her for the effort.
Yeah, I agree with those comments.
Yep, absolutely.
And we've been getting a lot of applications, like you guys have noticed, like our advertising and our marketing's paying off.
Yeah.
So,
What's the budget for this? Is it 3,500?
was it which?
Was it 3,500?
Yeah, it was very small and we've maxed that but we've got reasons to do that, so.
Sure.
When I get questioned, you guys got my back at council.
Yes,
Yeah,
we
we're
did.
over just a
Yes.
little bit because there's other things that come out of that, but we've maxed our portion of that. But
Well, I think it's awesome.
this is a very insignificant amount that does so much good in our community.
Absolutely.
Not to create more work for anyone, but it's too bad this kind of scenario couldn't be profiled either on the county website or online somewhere that, say, here's an example of what someone has done with this funding.
We can look
Just
into that
because
for
people,
sure.
I think, maybe are still getting familiar or educating themselves.
Yeah, we haven't had anyone submit pictures or we've only gotten receipts, not, this is what happened.
Yeah,
We
like
don't
a-
ask for final report. This is something that we could do when we go to update this policy, which I wanna update the application form myself. But if we're gonna update that, we should probably look at it and go, okay, what else should we update? But that's something we could say, is that we need a final report that says, this is how many people attended. I mean, I talk to them and they say, yeah, it went great.
Yeah.
Like video of the axe throwing.
Yeah, we could probably get some pictures. I
I
think
was just
Jesse
thinking
would be up for
Zoom,
that.
because I think people maybe aren't as familiar or aware that this exists, or even what they could do with this money, and it just would give them some.
And
And
it's
she's
something-
got some great ideas, right?
Oh,
She's
she
just-
does. Just to be
she's
great to
totally
put in
got
the
it.
Express that it's free, so that's
Yeah,
within our
that's
budget,
kinda what I
right?
was thinking.
The one thing, I happen to take care of the town ones for the same program, and we actually do a thank you letter from the mayor as well,
Oh.
and thanking them
For doing-
personally after
that's a
the
great
party's
idea.
done.
That's
That
a
is kind
good
of a
idea.
neat
Okay.
idea that, even from the committee,
Mm-hmm.
right?
That's a great idea.
Okay,
Somebody
the
was gonna
mayor.
make a motion. Was it you, Jeremy?
I was going to, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion that the committee, approve the Jessie Berwick application for a $500 Rural Community Connections grant to the maximum of $500.
Okay, motion on the floor, all in favor? Fantastic. 5.4, the 2023 Alberta Parks and Recreation Conference in October 26, 28. Heather, did you want to speak to it?
The only thing I wanted to speak to, other than the RFD, I kind of put a theme overview. They've mentioned FCSS broadly, but now they're actually targeting, so I think this might be a good conference for anybody that wants to go. It's, we have rooms booked. I have rooms booked for 2 members at large. And I don't have anybody that, I know Tracy, but would be willing to go, so I just wanted you guys to look at it. All of the conference speakers and everything is in there. It's in Lake Louise, which, by the way, as you might have heard, had a fire. So it really limited it rooms there, so they're doing a shuttle from the Lake Louise Lodge, and we're going back and forth, which isn't great, but it is what it is, but we budget for 2. So if anybody's willing to go to the conference in Lake Louise this year, sorry, council, you guys have your own budget.
It's an excellent conference.
I enjoy
I'm
it.
considering going, I just haven't
Yeah, I'd recommend it. I
figured out
just
the date
can't.
yet.
I have scheduling conflict.
I would like to go, but I can't.
You can't, okay?
Well, I'm having a beach on Saturday, end of December, so I'm booked to Vegas.
Dave?
I'll have to
Work
check
doesn't
my
permit you?
calendar.
Okay. The sooner you can let me know, the better, because registrations are almost to the point of being full.
Okay.
And I can't register I have rooms booked, but I need to register, so
Is there a refund policy for the registration?
I have to look into that. I think but I have to have names. I tried to do it with all of in my name, and they were like,
I don't
no.
like it.
So, which is fine, I could have made up some names and changed them, but if you could just let me know, and all the package, everything's in there, what dates. I have rooms booked from, if you want to attend the pre-conference sessions or the elected official ones, I have rooms booked for that so that you can attend that, so I think you go the night before. Let me know.
I'll let you know probably within 2 weeks if I'm gonna go or not.
Okay. Well, actually, you have to let Carrie know.
School
I don't
weekend.
look after you.
Yeah, right. I'll just let you know though.
Just let me know
Yeah.
though, so if you're gonna be there, we can.
Oh, we have.
Al, are you thinking about
My
going?
daughter.
Well, I
she
am.
was in
I've got a couple obstacles in my path. That likely will be
Tina's
football
going.
playoff weekend.
Took you hard.
And I was able to swing Jasper because it was,
It was close.
yeah,
Yeah.
even though I drove through a wicked snowstorm
I remember that.
That was brutal.
through Grand Cache. Yeah, but the logistics are a little different on this one.
Well, there is an FCSS conference. It's just Alberta, Alberta FCSS. They're having a conference, so it is something. It's in Edmonton at West Edmonton Mall. It's not as sexy, but
Well, that's easy.
yeah. So I'll get you guys that information as
I
soon
can
as
be your
it's released.
default if no one else can go, but I've gone before, so I'm not gonna say I'll go, so.
Well, Arlene can't, Tracy can't, Rebecca, you're school.
Yeah.
Okay. So if Dave goes, then there's still a spot.
Okay.
Okay, you're in? Oh, you guys are gonna make that motion, sorry, I'm already planning things. Okay,
So we could approve
2 to go.
Tina and Dave, right? Do
Yeah,
you want
or just
names or
two
you just want 2
people.
people?
I prefer, yeah, if you have names, and then if they say, yeah, I can go, great, I'll register you, but if the approval tonight would be, and then if you
So
can't go, you can't
Could
go.
we just say Dave pending schedule confirmation? Okay, so I'll move that the committee approve Tina Pradaniak and Dave Turcott to attend the 2023 Alberta Parks and Rec Conference in Lake Louise, pending schedule confirmations.
Okay, motion on the floor, all in favor? Carried. Sorry. All right, so we got Roundtable. Who wants to start first? Tracy. Oh. Anything that you want to share with us?
No, sorry, I don't have anything.
Oh, you cut me off guard.
We can loop back around. Go ahead, Rebecca. You have anything you want to share?
No, but thank you for the good meeting, and this was nice and short.
Okay. Dave?
I guess for me, it's just neat hearing that there are more people in the community, like Jesse, looking to do things like we've been in the county. This is going to be the start of year 3, and we still don't know lots of our neighbors either, right? So just one of those things that, you know, I think it's great to meet the people around you. So kudos to her for sure. So.
Councillor Willem?
I don't have too much to share. Obviously, it's summertime, so not a whole lot's going on, but just excited for the upcoming events that we have between the Hoedown, Blue Ridge Family Fun Day. I'm gonna do my best if this event goes down. Jesse Berwick's function go down, I'll probably stop in for a little bit, so I'll take some pictures and share them if I get them.
Nice.
And other than that, not much else.
Councillor Dean?
Yeah, similar to the, looking forward to the fun day and the hoedown. The hoedown, it's the 50th anniversary for Fort Assiniboine, and it's coming on the heels of the 200th anniversary of that community. So there's going to be a lot of energy there. It should be a lot of fun. And I think we as a committee probably need to be aware that with the flooding and the fires, there's been some impact on our facility, so that'll probably, we'll get a report on that probably at our next meeting, I think, because council hasn't had a full report on how everything was impacted yet, but that's coming.
Arlene?
Not too much either to update other than what's already been mentioned in terms of the Fort Assiniboine Bicentennial and the Hoedown coming that you reminded me about to get on my calendar. But yeah, it's been a busy summer, but good. So looking forward to fall. Well, sort of looking forward to fall. Even today it's starting to feel like,
Feel a little bit more.
I don't know if anybody else sensed that, but it's kind of cool. And that's good.
Didsbury got snow.
What?
So did I say that out loud?
Oh my God.
Swear words in council chambers.
Do you have anything
I have
new?
just one thing just to update you on. Doesn't matter. Your care program that we revised to have it is, yes, the youth enrichment subsidy. There hasn't been a GNP meeting, just so you know, that's why it hasn't come back to you. So that it has to go to the GNP, which is the Governance and Priorities Committee, and then it goes to council for approval. There's a lot on the agenda. They've already maxed out. You guys, you're gonna, P.S. you're gonna get asked for another GNP meeting in September. Because there's other items, but as soon as I get on there, I'll let you guys know. It'll be on GNP, and then I'll have an update for you once it's approved, but it's just, it's tough not meeting over the summer, and we get why, but then there's a lot of things get backlogged,
Yeah.
right? So unfortunately, we are just one of the many that have something to go there, and it's gonna be a priority, because they can only have 4 items, I believe, at your GMP. Do you guys remember that? I think it's 4.
Yeah.
So there's, yeah. So
That's it.
just an update on that. Oh, and one other thing, just a quick question for council on how you guys feel about this, because it'll make a decision. I know sometimes when you guys go to Roundtable at council, are there items that you want the committee to say, can you mention this at council? Because sometimes, I know you guys are like, well, yeah, I had a community services meeting. And sometimes items don't come up and it's been a couple weeks. So do you guys want to say, you should mention our Rural Community Connections grant? Or do you want me to send you a list and do you guys want to arm wrestle for who
Certainly couldn't hurt.
set some at council? I was just sitting here thinking that we kind of leave you guys flying. You go to council and you have so many meetings.
Yeah, that wouldn't hurt by any means. We try to remember.
Yeah.
But so many things.
How can you? So if I send you a little, mention this
Sure.
email, so what do you guys think we should ask them, the rural community?
As a highlight for sure.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And again, we'll talk about the rec master plan and the survey.
Yeah.
The more times it gets mentioned, I think that council it's not that they were purposely ignoring the recreation side, but it just had not been discussed.
Priorities.
I agree.
And the first time I brought it up, it was kind of like, what you talking about, right? And then the next time it becomes more familiar, et cetera, so
Yeah.
Okay.
it helps.
Well, 2017 is a long time ago now.
It used to be called Points to Capture, and that was way back in the day, and then that doesn't exist anymore. So Joan and I were sitting there kind of spitballing, and I'm like, well, I'm gonna ask at the meeting, and if there's something that you guys feel as a committee that we want to go up there, then, so you want me to just email it to both of you and you can decide? Okay,
Whoever goes first, I'll get to say.
okay,
We typically get picked in a random order to do our update at the end, so.
yeah, okay. I will email both of you, and I will include John if you'd like.
Sure.
I haven't heard
He's
from
on
him,
the
so I
committee.
don't know,
Yeah.
but he'll probably be at the meeting, so I'll send it to the three of you, those two items. Other than that, I can finally shut up. Sorry.
I just wanted to mention, I know that as a resident of Woodlands County, fires and floods this year, I don't know if we can give back kudos to whoever was doing what they had to do. I know that's a stressful time, and just out of the detachment area, I know that there's so many things going on, but I think that ultimately, from my personal perspective, that information was available and things happened, unfortunately, to some homes, and I think
I can pass that to the whole team.
I think that great job, because it's definitely a hard situation to be in for the first time, and we learn, and yeah.
It
just-
was, my husband, just if I can speak, he was working, so he was working for Woodlands County. He was in a chopper, he's the one that evacuated those people that got flooded there, and he brought four families or 5 families, several dogs, and one really distraught young lady who broke down when she got here. Her life had imploded just hours before, and then she got stuck, and her 2 dogs. Anyway, she walked in, and I looked at her at the reception center here, and I just, do you need a hug? And she was like, ah!
Yeah.
So it was an emotional time, and, you know, I watched all my coworkers really work in that, so thank you for mentioning that, because we were in the reception center for I worked 18 hours that first day, and it was,
I think those
Everybody
sometimes
pitched
that
in,
gets
right?
forgotten, and just,
yeah,
you know, like everyone's really willing to pick in when you do something wrong, but when you don't, it's also good, so.
the cat did not like the helicopter ride, just letting you know.
They typically don't. 150 anniversary for the RCMP.
Yes.
We're hosting the Ridge Ball on the 23rd, and you are all invited, so we're gonna have some flair bartenders and some saxophones and all kinds of things, so
Nice.
hopefully you guys can attend. And of course, the golf tournament's coming up too, but I just we're booked for the 15 holes that they have open right now.
What's your wait list?
15, is it?
How big is the wait list?
So we're up to 170. We're allowed 128 to golf and 170 of our wait list. So everybody wanted to golf this year. I don't know why, but we can't let everybody in. So it's unfortunate. But next year will be our 20th and last year for that golf tournament. So if you want to golf in it,
Register early.
yeah. Well, Victim Services is all ending at the same time. So I think it's a good time to hang the hat. It might change names and do something different, but 20 years is a long time to plan one tournament. So I'm not sad.
For sure.
But that's it for me. Did you think of something? No? Okay. All right, so adjourn.
I'll motion to adjourn.
All right, all in favor? Next meeting is September 14th, same time?
Yes.